Kia ora tātou. I thought I'd come on here and have a quick kōrero with you. I'm here at the Rotorua Airport, and just some of the things that have popped up over the last week. One is the continuous alignment that New Zealand has as a proxy for the US, and we've said this many a time. Quite often, you hear statements by Winston Peters saying, "Oh well, we're supporting the move by everybody else." We're not leaders, we're followers. New Zealand is a follower, and we're waiting for others to make statements around Palestine and also our relationship with the US, who continue to prop up Israel, to continue to genocide. And so with that, I'm really concerned about where this country is going. We've just had $12 billion injection into our defence force, which could have been spent on better hospitals, more housing for our whānau, creating more jobs, and keeping our people out of prison, creating better community access for rangatahi. But instead of building mega prisons, we could have been looking at other ways to engage community, especially those who have been disenfranchised. So there's a lot of money being spent in propping up the propaganda that's pushed out of America and our alignment with the Five Eyes network. And I have grave concerns for where this country is headed. Last week there was some legislation moved because Trump talked about that there could quite possibly be space wars. And so we moved legislation in the House around the regulation of space. And the only space war I believe he's having is his own space war, and he's probably thinking he's in Star Wars. And I think he rang Judith Collins and said, "Judith, I am your father." And so it's that type of issue that we're coming up with in regards to our alignment with America. America supports Israel, bottom line. All this stuff about we're waiting to determine whether Palestine is a independent state. You should recognise that regardless. And so we've got regulation for space, and that's they say that's to keep an eye out on imminent threats. And actually Judith Collins didn't talk about any imminent threats to Aotearoa whilst bringing that piece of legislation into urgency. I didn't hear any imminent threat by anybody, hence why they're moving that piece of legislation. All that is to support the military agenda of Trump. And so you've got that. Now you've got an FBI office opened up in Wellington, and let's not pretend that the FBI hasn't been here. Surveillance here in Aotearoa and across the Pacific, they've been here for a long time. But now it's official. And again, the Americanization of our country. Oha. This goes to show that we don't have sovereign independence. You can pretend to, but we don't, because we are absolutely aligned with the military agenda of America. China has never threatened us. China has never threatened Aotearoa. It's never threatened Māori. And so they're our biggest trading country of all the countries, and I don't know why we don't open up more to them and have those discussions with them. E te iwi Māori, ane te kōrero. If te Pāti Māori go into government next year, we will be ensuring that we look at all those brown economies. We look at the BRICS and have those opportunities to explore what better economic opportunities there are out there in the big wide world. And the BRICS is one. I'm looking at the decolonisation of Africa. Why haven't we gone over there to explore what it might look like in terms of relationship with our with the Africans? And I'm loving seeing what's happening over there. So yeah, those are just my thoughts. I know this is a bit of a long video, but those are just my thoughts on what's happening at this particular time. The alignment that New Zealand has with America is really concerning. I'm concerned with it. And I tell you what, if we go into government, we will be looking at what those relationships look like. Because I believe Five Eyes, those 5 countries we align with, Australia, Canada, England, and the Great Britain and America, I think their economies are done. They've got nothing more to offer us. And I think the potential to invest and to go into relationships with the brown economies, I think is going to be something worthwhile our time and effort. And I reckon we open the gates. We open the gates up to have discussions with China and a closer relationship with our biggest trading country in the world. But those are my thoughts, and I think we've got to be really, really careful about our alignment with America. I haven't seen China bomb Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Iraq, and many other countries, Afghanistan, all the other countries that they've been in and made a total mess of. And now they're here meddling in our own space. So the Party Māori is clear that we want to be military neutral and call for peace, and to ensure that we are foe to no one, but a friend to everyone, and being able to have our mana mutahake and our sovereign independence, economic, even cultural, and social independence and sovereignty recognised around the world. So watch the space, Higama, and make sure this is a one-term government. You've also got them moving legislation around the electoral law. What a bloody mess that is. Our people are going on and checking on the electoral law to find out that they are no longer on the roll or have been switched to the general roll. And as we already know, is that we've got enough people who have migrated from the general roll, signed up onto the Māori roll to make an 8th seat. And so you can't help but to think that this is sinister, and that that voter discrimination is happening here. Voter suppression is happening here in Aotearoa. It is a real thing. And so we have filed with the High Court to ensure that we challenge those particular issues. So, watch the space, and we will continue to put pressure on this government. But we need to make sure that our people are enrolled for the by-election coming up in Tamaki Makaurau, and that the strategy is simple. Don't get caught up in here and try and think of your own strategy. The strategy is simple. Vote Orini, Penny is already in Parliament. Koe nā nua. Any other strategy, you're doing Te Iwi Māori a disservice. So e ho tātou, koe noho ki te kōrero. Vote Orini, Penny Henare is already in Parliament. Win or lose, he's back in Parliament anyway. And so those in by-election in Tamaki Makaurau, that's the strategy. Also, get ready for 2026. This has to be a one-term government. We could not have this fascist government running this country anymore, and there needs to be some change. Ngā mihi nui kia tātou. Kia ora.